Welcome to your region this week. I'm Anandi Carroll-Woolery. In this episode, Guelph General Hospital is transforming the way patients get lab results, and a local entrepreneur serves up healthy and delicious food built on the values of nourishment, connection, and sustainability. But first, here's a look at the headlines. It was a tense evening at regional headquarters on Wednesday as Council passed a bylaw that would remove the encampment at 100 Victoria Street North to make way for the construction of the Kitchener Central Transit Hub. Regional staff created a site-specific bylaw that would move the roughly 35 residents out of the encampment on Victoria Street near the Weber Street intersection and into supportive housing or temporary motels, asking for an additional $800,000 to help with that move by December 1st. The bylaw would also make it so that anyone found breaching those rules would be fined up to $5,000. Cambridge Shelter Corporation is looking for donations. It is asking for the community to donate various household items to support people coming to the bridges who are starting from scratch and being connected with housing. A full list of in-need items is listed on the screen. If you are able to donate, please call the Bridges to arrange your donation drop-off. Close to 180 employees at Conestoga College have been laid off. This is the second round of terminations at the Post-Secondary Institute in less than a month. According to the representatives of OPSU Local 238, the union representing full-time support staff at the college, notices of termination were sent out to members of the union on April 22nd. In the notice, the college claims the decision was made as a result of challenges facing the post-secondary sector in Ontario, including the enrollment cap and other changes announced for international students. The college also claims to have experienced a significant decline in enrollment over the last year. Waterloo Region District School Board is leaving X. It says it's leaving the social media platform for several reasons, including student safety. In a statement issued on April 22nd, the WRDSB says, due to the applications of policies, changes in community safety features, and use of artificial intelligence on the platform, WRDSB is no longer using X Twitter as a communication channel. The X account will remain active for now, but only to direct users to other channels of communication. No new content will be available on that platform. Still with Waterloo Region District School Board, it is in the process of revising its procurement policy to ensure it is in line with the province's Buy Canadian edict. This all stems from U.S. tariffs being placed on Canadian goods, and the response from Premier Doug Ford, who has taken a hardline stance with the Trump administration. The Ministry of Education has specified what criteria is defined as a U.S. supplier. It also says any existing contracts with American companies must be honored. The region of Waterloo's municipal speed camera program is expanding. The Speed Camera and Air Foundation Christian School on Catherine Street in West Montrose has been activated. The rotating cameras used during the pilot program will be back in use as fixed cameras starting the week of May 5th. Those locations are Clairview Mennonite School, Three Bridges Road in Elmira, Cedar Creek Public School on Hilltop Drive in Ayr, St. Bridget Catholic School on Broome Street, also in Ayr, and Keatsway Public School on Keatsway in Waterloo. Starting the week of May 12th, the following locations will have speed cameras activated. Forest Glen Public School on Waterloo Street in New Hamburg, Laurentian Public School on Westmount Road in Kitchener, St. Gabriel Catholic School on Guelph Avenue in Cambridge, St. Peter Catholic School on Avenue Road in Cambridge, and Sunnyside Public School on Weber Street East in Kitchener. For more information on a map of camera locations and ticket payment information, visit saferoadswr.com. Brantford Police Service has launched a new redesigned website. The new site provides a user-friendly experience for residents seeking information about the police service, public safety updates, and community programs. Brantford Police Service encourages residents to explore the new website by visiting brantfordpolice.ca. Coming up, healthy meals made to go.
Our food is whole, it's local, it's natural ingredients.
This federal election will reshape Canada's political landscape and our country's approach to domestic and international issues. Get to know the candidates running to be your MP and represent your interests in Ottawa. Hear from your local candidates during Rogers TV's coverage of the local campaign. And on election night, Rogers TV delivers the local results. Rogers TV. Watch, learn, vote.
We invite you to play What's My Line?
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Do people come to watch you perform?
Yes.
Do you travel for work?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever wear a special type of costume?
Yes.
Is your job, physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes.
Are you a professional baseball player?
Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy are birth alerts, a racist practice that may stop this Indigenous mother from going home with her newborn. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
New technology at Guelph General Hospital is going to make things easier for patients. The hospital is transforming its laboratory services with 2 new chemistry analyzers.
So I'm excited. It's the initial step in a longer process to provide automation for our entire lab. So it's exciting. It's an exciting change for our lab, a real big step forward for patient care in Guelph. And I think the whole lab's excited to get on with the project.
The total project for lab modernization should be done by March of 2026. This is the first phase of the project and a really great start.
So the first step in this whole process is for us to collect a blood sample. Well, here at Guelph General Hospital, we have introduced a couple of new chemistry analyzers into our lab. They will do most of the chemistry tests that are performed on patients that are in the hospital or come to our emergency department. And given that most medical decisions are based on laboratory results, they'll play an important role in helping our patients. So the barcoded patient sample would be placed onto a sample rack, and the sample rack is simply loaded onto the instrument. Most of the diagnosis is based on lab results, and so by implementing new equipment with the latest technology, we get better results, faster turnaround times, and better clinical decisions. All of the chemical reactions take place on a little slide, and no water is used in that process. So I think the biggest benefit for us is going to be efficiency, and this is a first step in our overall automation plan, which will eventually bring complete automation to our whole lab here, where a sample will go in at the beginning and really never be touched again by a person, and so that will lend much more efficiency, faster turnaround times, faster results get the patients, so that quicker clinical decisions can be made and better patient care.
The foundation of Guelph General Hospital is an essential part of our community and our healthcare community because they raise all the money for patient care equipment, including the equipment we're talking about today. The foundation has a fundraiser every year called Circle of Life, which is foundation donors who give a certain amount of money every year. And last year at the Circle of Life, the money for the digital scanners and the hematology instruments were raised at that fundraiser exclusively. What went through my head when we started this project was that this was bringing our lab to the current time and the best equipment and setting us up well for the future growth of this city and the number of patients we're seeing. And modernization and the latest equipment is the foundation for really good patient care and all that cool stuff that we think of when we think of patient care. It's really behind the scenes, but just as important.
A Cambridge-based Indigenous chef and entrepreneur is prioritizing healthy eating with Food Zen Kitchen.
Food Zen Kitchen is something that I started out of a passion and a need for just like healthy, wholesome foods. We started about 4 years ago, just kind of helping family and friends. And it's really just about getting healthy, whole foods on the table. There's some very strong competitors with a lot of money behind them for marketing, but we really want people to understand that we are doing something similar, yes, but we're different. Our food is whole, it's local, it's natural ingredients, it's naturally dairy and gluten-free for the most part because we aren't using processed foods. We're making our own ketchups, barbecue sauces, salad dressings, even our own spice mixes. So all of these things, there's a lot of love that has been put into it to make sure that we're cutting out as much of the processed foods as possible. We're Indigenous owned, we're a woman-owned business. We started up in COVID, so it just makes us different, it makes us unique. I've completely done this through a pure passion project. This is not like something I'm in because I want to become a millionaire. It's something that I really want to change the way people see, buy, and eat food. COVID added an extra element for sure. I actually didn't go into COVID or a lockdown thinking that this is what I was going to be doing today. I was in a very well-paying corporate job. I loved the people I worked with. I loved the job I was doing. But I also have always had this passion for food, and just because I've always taken cooking classes, I was going around the computer trying to figure out maybe if there's some online courses, things like that, and I came across a school at the time that was Liaison College. It's now called Top Tukes in Kitchener, and they were offering a culinary degree program. Very small class sizes, very niche, and I was just like, how cool would it be to say I have a culinary degree? Even though I had not really planned on doing anything with it, but I learned about personal chefing, and I immediately realized it's something that can be affordable to anybody. It doesn't mean you have to be rich and famous. If you're finding you're eating in or taking out 3 times a week, you can afford it. And so I knew that this is what I needed for my family. I couldn't find it. They do exist. Obviously, I have a bit different niche because I also come from a tech background, so I understand how the Google search engines work. But at the time, I couldn't see them. So I decided to quit my job and start this business. And soon after, my mom passed away from, her struggles being a child of the 60s scoop. They started finding unmarked graves. And immediately I realized I had a bigger purpose. And it wasn't just to bring nutritious food to the table, but it was to bring back the philosophies of the Indigenous people and to really showcase Indigenous food from around the world, not just Canada. So much of the convenience food for kids are very heavily processed foods, and of course, parents are incredibly busy. Mornings can be hectic. Trying to get your kids to eat all their lunch and bring it home empty is always a problem. So by giving kids things that we know they love, but then sneaking in those like ever-dreaded vegetables, we're really helping parents be able to make sure that their kids feel full faster, stay full longer. And many of our parents are saying that their kids are sleeping better, they're less irritable, they're less hyper. So we're really seeing that change since we've launched the Kids Meal Program.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. but because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare. She may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Hello, welcome to Lions TV Bingo. An announcement, we are now on Mondays. Yes, every Monday from now on, Lions TV Bingo is going to be here on Rogers, and we're off like a herd of turtles. Roll 29. 4 $500 prizes, 1 $3,500 prize, all the trivia you can imagine, and some of my bad jokes. We'll see you this Monday.
Hey Kitchener, prepare to vote. During the election campaign, watch Rogers TV to learn more about the local candidates running to be your MP. And on April 28th, make it count and vote. Rogers TV. Watch, learn, vote.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
In sports, the organizing committee in New Hamburg offers thanks to everyone who helped the Under-18A tournament.
This is the first time that a New Hamburg minor hockey team ever played in the OHF, and much less even us hosting the event was quite an accomplishment. We're thrilled, excited, and we couldn't have done it without the support of the OHF, even the different federations from Alliance to Northern Ontario Hockey Association to OMHA as well as New Hamburg Minor Hockey Association. It was just a tremendous effort from everyone making this all happen for the community as a whole. This is really for the kids, this is their last year of minor hockey for most of them. And we wanted to make this the most memorable hockey tournament they've ever been to.
I'd like to say thank you to all of the volunteers who have been helping since the early days. We started on social media early. We wanted to grow a crowd. We wanted to make a buzz. So we started to roll out a following. We started running a 50-50, talking about it, having all of the community jump in and share has been fantastic, building awareness. All along we knew that we would have really great hockey games going on. We had great kids, we knew we'd have great athletes, and really great hockey. So what we decided to do is really build on the community aspect. So we wanted to bring kids here as a long weekend. We knew that lots of people would have Easter plans. We knew that people would be away and traveling. So what we wanted to do is if you're around and had family, we wanted to build some fun. So we had lots of things here for the kids to do, Easter egg hunts.
Our community steps up. When we set out to put this bid in, almost a year ago now, and we start putting in that bid, and we knew we had to rely on our community sponsors, and they stepped up, and they stepped up in a large way, maybe even more than we thought. And not just dollar-wise, but coming out, supporting the event, watching all of the games. It was great to have a full rink for a lot of the games, and it's been fantastic. And there's no way this event could have got pulled off without the community sponsors and the volunteers, from the anthem singers and all the way down. Just fantastic.
That was great. When we first got notice that we got the bid, as part of being on the executive of New Hamburg Minor Hockey, so I reached out to the Wilmot Township and spoke with Chris Cantani, and he was really excited for us to have this chance to have this. And I think him and his crew in Wilmot Township were instrumental in giving us this whole facility for the entire weekend. We had all the dressing rooms, and it was just a great experience for the boys, and a lot of fans were out here, and we wanted to make it a real community event. And, you know, with the community of Wilmot Township, and we just really want to thank you guys and thank everyone for the support over the weekend.
It's awesome having Porcupine and Hearst here. Such a long trip they made. Obviously, big smiles on their faces when they arrived. I think they really enjoyed the tournament. And then obviously St. Thomas and Stratford being closer to home. You know, again, great showing from those teams as well. And then, you know, I really have to wholeheartedly give a lot of thanks to Al and Mickey Campo. They put a ton of effort. It's a good thing they're married. Otherwise, this may not have carried on. Mark Calder, our CFO, phenomenal job. Worked tirelessly on the 50-50 draw and many other things. Scott Soulier, he is a Swiss Army knife when it comes to logistics. Love it. Amazing team to work with. I'm so proud to be even a small member of this team.
Still ahead, healthy aging, live longer, live better. Details about this year's Healthy Heart Day event.
With Canada's sovereignty and economy under threat, this election is a defining moment for the country.
There's so much on the line.
Get to know the candidates running to be your MP and represent your interests in Ottawa. Hear from your local candidates during Rogers TV's coverage of the local campaign. And on election night, Rogers TV delivers the local results. Rogers TV. Watch, learn, vote.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
Sports is life. It's clear cut. Everything's out in the open. There's nowhere to hide. I had to prove myself more than anyone else.
You must be so proud of your son. He's gonna go pro. The sky's the limit.
There's always a winner and a loser.
You cannot reach the sky in broken cleats.
Of course, I always want to be the winner. And I did reach the sky.
Norman Kwong, the first Chinese-Canadian professional football player, still holds records to this day. He retired from the sport in 1960 and later became Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
Finally for us, the popular annual Healthy Heart Day is coming to Rogers TV on Saturday, May 3rd. We spoke with Dr. Pandy about this year's virtual event.
This is our 21st annual Healthy Heart Day. We're so excited about this event. This event is really geared on the concept of living longer but living healthier. We all know that the longevity in Canada has improved. We're living longer. Lifespan has improved. But one of the concerns that many of us have is that as people are aging, health span is not necessarily keeping up, meaning that the last number of years, often people are really sick, they're disabled, they're in hospital, they're not able to really engage in all the things that they wanted to do in their golden years. And so it's really about how do we keep people healthier as they age? And there's definitely strategies that we can adopt to try to do that. A lot of it is things that we know we need to do. Healthier diets, less processed foods, more plant-based foods, incorporating more exercise as we get older. And there is actually a concept developing that as we age, we may actually be able to be healthier than we were when we were younger. We can do that through adoption of dietary changes, lifestyle changes, managing stress, but it's also about community engagement. The more involved you are with your community, with your family, your friends, mental health concerns, depression, anxiety, a lot of things that people are coping with are better done when we're doing it together. So it's that sort of community build that's also really important. So there's a number of strategies to do that, and our goal with the event this year is to really give people those tools. How can they implement this so that they can not only live longer but live healthier as they get older? You know, Dr. Peter Lynn, he's presented at Healthy Heart Day a number of times. He's an expert speaker. He is one of these guys that can take really complicated ideas and put them down into terms that we can understand and that we can engage with and move forward with. So he's been tasked to talk about, you know, living longer. And he's going to be talking about these blue zones you might have heard about. So these are areas, I think there's 5 or 6 around the world, where people seem to live a lot longer than other parts of the world. Often they're living into their late 90s and 100. But as they're living longer, they're also really healthy at those ages. And so, you know, a lot of research has gone into figuring out what are they doing differently and what can we learn from it as a society? How can we become a blue zone? And one of the things that I've always thought about is, you know, the Cambridge, Kitchener-Waterloo region. Why can we not be a blue zone? What can we do as a community that can get us to these exceptional places? So that's his task. You know, after that, Dr. Reichart will be talking, and her goal is, you know, rather than just talking about living longer, how do we reverse some of the chronic diseases that happen as we age? Is there actually a way to do that? Can we actually reverse some of these diseases? And she's going to be presenting some really exceptional data that shows that you can actually reverse some of these chronic conditions with appropriate effort. Dr. Vallis is going to be speaking to us about how do you retain that motivation so that you know that you can achieve this? What are ways to have that commitment that you've made to yourself, to your family, to your community, but sustain it over the long term? So he'll be our third speaker. Throughout the whole event, we're going to have one of our local exercise specialists, Cindy Catton, who will be doing practical exercises that we can do at home, so that, you know, we don't all have to join a gym or spend a lot of money on it. There are some simple exercises we can incorporate, and certainly we know physical activity is really important for healthy aging. And at the end of it, my job is to try to put it all together in this concept of lifestyle medicine, which is the idea that, you know, our lifestyle can be a therapeutic thing. It can actually help us to really put the puzzle together. If you have chronic diseases, if you have heart disease, you know, sometimes people kind of throw their hands up saying, I already got the disease. I've probably missed the boat. There's no point. And I'm going to be talking about, nope, that's not true. You can make those changes at any point when you're trying to prevent disease, or if you have it, there is actually good data that you can actually potentially reverse disease. So it's really about empowering people, giving them practical tools that they can hopefully implement and stay motivated. And our goal, my goal, and our whole committee's goal for the Healthy Heart Day is to really create our community, the Cambridge, Kitchener-Waterloo region, as an exceptional community, one of these blue zones that people will look at and say, what are they doing right? Because I know that there are things that we can improve on as a community, and it's really about empowering people to do that.
That's our show for this edition of Your Region This Week. We'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Trust me, you are not going to want to miss this. Welcome to the little shop of spring magic, where anything is possible.
It's magical.
13 pastry prodigies will create stunning sweets. It's extreme. The baker who's got the magic touch.
This is taking me back to my childhood.
Will win it most magical title of all, Spring Baking Champion.
Now that's what I call spring magic.
Yeah, we gotta have it. We got the magic.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every